Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So this is a series I've wanted to do for a while, and it's kind of based around the fact that I feel like there's a lot of fun information and, behind the scenes stuff going on with my parodies and rap battles that you guys don't know about, and I'd love to share that with you. So the first one that I wanted to kick things off with in this director's commentary is Dark Lord Funk. It's by far my biggest and most popular video that I've got on my channel, and I thought it'd be really fun to share kind of, the insights on what happened and how it came to be and how we made it and like Easter eggs and all that stuff. So yeah, let's get things going. First of all, Dark Lord Funk came about. Dark Lord Funk came about because I was helping TA a class out of college, and some of the class members were wanting to do a parody, and I had already had some success with my other parodies like Talk Nerdy to Me, and I was looking to do a Harry Potter parody, and the kids in the class were throwing in ideas, and one of them that I ended up working with closely on this project was Andrew Carver, and he showed me this new hot song that Bruno Mars had just come out with called Uptown Funk, and I was like, this is a super awesome song. I wonder if I could do something Harry Potter with it. And so originally I was writing it as Hogwarts Funk, and it was gonna be like Harry Potter singing and dancing about Hogwarts and all this. And when I was trying to write it as a parody, it wasn't like clicking. It didn't really work. Now, why was Harry Potter singing and dancing about Hogwarts? What was the angle, the reason for this whole parody? And when I was writing it and it wasn't working, I noticed that line of say my name, you know who I am. I realized if I put a don't in front of it, it becomes don't say my name, you know who I am, which is Voldemort. And it just, the whole thing clicked at that point. I literally had the whole parody written in like an hour after that. Once that line came to be, because it was like, oh my gosh, this could be Voldemort singing a funk song, and we'll put like curlers on his bald head just like in the original video, and it's just gonna be so funny, this juxtaposition, this terrible dark wizard singing this fun Uptown Funk song. And so from there, it just kind of snowballed, and we got more friends involved, and I went location scouting and all of that, and things just came together to make this. So let's get it underway, and I'll show you guys some of the fun behind the scenes stuff. Here we go. Okay, so that is me as Harry Potter here. Of course, cast myself. Why not? For fun. We filmed this whole first scene in kind of a wood park area up Provo Canyon here in Utah. And it was like March, and it was freezing. You can actually see some of their breaths in some of the shots. Yeah, like right there. And our break area was like around the corner at a fire pit while we were like setting up lighting and stuff because it was so cold. And luckily, so many of my friends decided to come out and just be extras, like, the masked Death Eaters, and we have my dancer friends. Becca as Bellatrix was too perfect. She had the look and the attitude. Me sitting on the ground, I hated this because it was so muddy, because there had been all this snow melt that, it destroyed my shoes that night. They were some of my favorite shoes, and I couldn't wear them anymore. And if you'll actually notice, let's go, hold up, I'll show you guys. Something funny happens. If it goes wide, a wide shot here. Okay, so the Death Eater on the far left is Andrew Carver, one of my friends who helped with it. And on a lot of the shots, bless his heart, he was going the opposite direction of everybody else. So if you notice, the Death Eater on the left side of the screen sometimes is completely opposite of all the other Death Eaters. He was awesome, but there's just little goofs like that. And of course, Elijah Thomas as the Dark Lord himself. This scene we filmed at an amphitheater that had all the stone steps and everything here in Utah. And that is me on the far right as a Death Eater. We didn't have enough people here for this specific shoot, and so I filled in as a Death Eater and threw on my dark black clothes and stuff. And another fun fact about this specific little shot scene that we have about 5 of us, it was actually a little add-on because we had filmed some of the other scenes at this location already, like the week before, and when we looked over the footage, we realized we didn't have enough from this location. So when we were going up to do the forest scene, we realized we had to stop here, film a whole bunch of the song here first, just with this little group, and then we would head up the canyon and film the whole dark forest scene. And so this was like a quick add-on right before we went and filmed everything else, so that we made sure we had enough footage from this location to fill the whole music video and song. Elijah Thomas was so perfect as the Dark Lord in this, as Voldemort. And this location is Ray's Barbershop in Salt Lake City, and Andrew told me about this location, and when I looked at the pictures, it was so perfect. I mean, it has this old European feel to it. It has like vaulted ceilings, and you can see right here in the background, actually, some of the like intricate painting and stuff they have on the wood supports and stuff, and it was just absolutely perfect for what we needed as like a barbershop, but also giving it a European feel. So here you can see the vaulted ceilings and the art and everything and the chandeliers. I mean, it was just this perfect European rustic feel. It was so perfect. And at this point, for the scene out at the amphitheater, this was the one I was like, I sent out the word to like everybody I could possibly, scrounge up to come be in my Harry Potter video. I was like, I need extras. We need Death Eaters and we need Hogwarts students, and we need all of it for this big crowd scene in this Harry Potter parody that I'm doing. Come have fun. And luckily a bunch of people showed up. I was super scared nobody was, and I was like, this is gonna be lame, but people did, and it turned into something awesome. Fun little fact, here on the left, you see a little cameo, and you'll see him later in the video as well. That's Stuart Edge, big YouTuber as well here in Utah. He came into the video to be my Ron Weasley. So yeah, here we go. Okay, so the snake here on Elijah's shoulders, Voldemort's shoulders, was a real live python, and its name is Snape. Yes, its actual name in real life is Snape, which was pure coincidence. And Elijah was so brave. Like, I mean, he literally was like throwing the snake in his face, like right up in it. And it was crazy. And I thought he was so nuts for that, because I was so nervous around the python, but he wasn't at all. And he was like dancing and playing with the python, just having fun. I mean, Elijah killed it. I mean, he literally made this entire video as Voldemort. Like that. Oh my gosh, he just held that snake right up in his face. The curlers were a lot of fun as well, obviously. I mean, we literally glued them straight onto his head because he didn't have any hair, obviously. It was just like, to mimic the original video, I really wanted that element in there. Elijah was just literally screaming at this snake. Point blank. Okay, so right here, if you look at Bellatrix's newspaper, you can see me dancing. You can see me dancing in the newspaper right there, and we did it using a little green screen square on a fake newspaper that I printed out, and then we comped in footage of me dancing against a wall in post, obviously. Before we leave, I'm gonna tell Harry Potter. Our Fenrir Greyback. Jeremy, he was so perfect. I was just like, just have a furrowed brow the whole time and look angry, and he did, and he killed it. It's just, all of this was so fun to get people worked into it. So many of these perfect moments were just like candid improv, just like, go have fun. We're gonna go from this point to this point and just ham it up. And everybody did, and just had an absolute blast. There's a little, if you're reading the drum, Tom and the Riddles. We debated about several different names the band should have, like Harry and the Potters, or, that type of stuff. And so, but we settled on Tom and the Riddles because of the, Dark Lord and all of that. And it fit pretty well, I think. And so, this is one of my favorite little Easter eggs in the entire thing. So Nate from King of Random, one of my best friends, helped with production on this, and is actually Neville Longbottom in the video as well, in a few little spots that you can see. But he made the house banners for this location, this shot. And if you look right here, where I've paused it at 3:30, you can see the Hufflepuff banner in the background. And this was totally Nate's idea. He drew out these brilliant, beautiful, artistic banners for each of the 4 houses, except for Hufflepuff. So he drew out like a lion's head for Gryffindor and a snake for Slytherin. And then he just wrote in terrible, crappy Sharpie, Hufflepuff, and spelled it wrong as well, just so that Hufflepuff would have this super not as good banner. Oh, it's so funny. There's a little Easter egg for you guys. And other friends like donated props and stuff, like the wands and the sorting hat was all just like friends donating costume pieces and everything else they had. And it was just this huge collaborative effort to make all of this happen. Oh, I gotta pause it on this band scene again. Okay, first of all, this is a buddy of mine. And he had a Filch costume. And as soon as I saw it on Facebook, I was like, dude, please come be Filch in this. And of course he agreed and came, and I had to feature him because his Filch costume is so perfect. I mean, look at that. That was his own cosplay that he had worked together. And so I gave him this, like Filch trying to like herd the crowd and settle everything down. It was so fun to do this with him. Now, this location was actually a complete lucky break for us, because I had been talking to a different performance venue about getting into theirs to film this video, and they wouldn't let me. They kept kind of blowing me off for a couple of weeks, and I was freaking out because we had to film the scene, and we were trying to get the video done on time. And finally, a buddy of mine worked at this kind of restaurant place on campus on a college here, BYU, and he talked to his manager, and they let us come in for one night for an hour and a half total to film the scene. So we had to come in after another event had finished doing their thing there, but before closing. We literally had an hour and a half window to set up, film, and take down everything. And if any of you have worked on film sets or projects, nothing gets done in an hour and a half. It takes like an entire day. But by miracle of miracles, we came, we had everybody dressed, prepared. As soon as they let us in, we rushed in, set everything up, filmed as much as we could. And then like 20 minutes before our time was up, we cut it and said, okay, everybody break down, remove, let's get out of here. And we did it. We managed to get everything we needed in an hour and a half total, and it was just like a complete miracle. And I love you guys, The Wall, for letting us film there. Thank you so much, because it was so badly needed to get that big band scene in where we did breakdancing, and we just made it at every location we filmed at. Oh, there's me dancing on the newspaper that we did with the green screen square. I literally just went in front of a brick wall, and we filmed me doing weird little dances, and then we comped those shots in post. You can tell it's actually slightly different color than the rest of the newspaper because we tried to blend it as much as possible, but it wasn't perfect. Every location we went to, we just made sure we had lots of like big dance sections and stuff so that we could put, filler cuts in, like the Thriller dance, me going against Voldemort on a 101 dance off. Okay, so that little shot right there, when he drops the wand, that was a buddy of mine's wand, and we didn't want to drop it on the hard ground to have it break. I didn't want to break, my buddy's prop. And so I was sitting underneath the camera, and when he dropped the wand, I caught it. And then when we were editing the video at Marcus's house, we went into the kitchen with a stick, literally just a stick from outside, and recorded the sound of it dropping onto the kitchen floor. And then we comped that in as Foley for that shot. So when he drops it and you hear it hit the floor, that's actually just a stick hitting the kitchen floor. Because we didn't want to break a wand. But yeah, there's Dark Lord Funk, and a lot of it was done just by people donating their time and energy. And, the 4 of us right here were kind of the main masterminds behind it. But I had, makeup friends showing up to just do makeup for this, on their own time and everything. And I'm eternally grateful for the amount of collaborative effort that went into this. Elijah had to get into the bald cap 3 different days, I think. We tried to do it as the least amount of possible, but I think it was 3 major shoots that we had to get him into the bald cap for it. And he hates makeup, but was willing to do it for this project. And of course, I'm so grateful that he was willing to do all of that as well. His bald cap took around an hour and a half to 2 hours every single time just to get it all blended in and looking decent. I actually did the bald cap on a few days, and then we had a professional makeup artist do it the first day so that I could learn how to do it correctly and properly. But yeah, if you have any more comments or questions about this, please leave, your thoughts down in the comments section. I'd love to see it. I'd love to answer more questions about this. Anything you guys want to know, of course, I'm an open book, so let me know. Subscribe, and of course, hit that little notification bell because I've got lots more content coming out. See you guys on the next one.